BDC. What is going on, everybody? It is so good to be back on the casting desk. It's like I'm Michael Sark, but I will never live up to the greatness that once was. I'm joined here today by Brumi with the Hemi hashtag Bang.
What's up, everybody? It's good to be back. I'm excited to be, joined with my, my homie, my colleague, the retired God, and I'm ready to see some really talented apprentice players go into battle here. It should be a good series I'm hoping for, and for the viewers out there, I'm hoping to see some good Valorant.
Yes, I do concur. So for this episode of the podcast, oh shit, oh wait, this isn't, oh my god, this isn't the pod. Welcome to the stream. But we got a pretty heated matchup. High Tide versus OS. We have some top players, some would say, in Apprentice going at it. Kid from Akron, MVP caliber season. Slater, MVP caliber season. It's going to be interesting to see how these pair up because, one is a initiator / flex player. The other one is more of a sentinel role. And they might not even interact with each other a whole lot. So I'm interested to see how it works.
Yeah, I'm also interested to see, kind of somehow how this old talent kind of fits in with these new players. We got some new talent coming into some of these rosters, and obviously you have like the mainstays on the High Tide roster like Aki and Drag, who have been talented and played really well for multiple seasons. And then also you have on the other team you have Alfred the Dog, which has been a really solid player since I've been in the league since season 5. So I'm excited to see how this new talent and the old talent work together here. So I think with that being said, we're about to go into the map picks and bans here. Kind of curious to see what maps we're going to see here. Will we see Fracture finally? I know I haven't played Fracture one time.
Haven't seen it either. Yeah, I mean it's a map that we frequently ban, so we haven't played it either. But interesting. I thought that map picks and bans went a bit differently. I thought it was ban, pick, ban. Oh no, wait. Oh no, I'm just tripping, bro. Yeah, I know. I'm definitely.
That's just ban.
So
ban.
So High Tide banning Split and Haven, interesting choices, and Bind and Abyss, both coming out of OS. I can understand the ban for Bind from OS. It's a really good High Tide map, and if I recall correctly, Bind also was a map that OS has not historically performed well on this season. Oh my gosh, ask and you shall receive. There's Fracture. And I believe Abyss for High Tide is also really good to finish that statement. But
I'm excited to see some Teo come out here. I mean, we got Fracture. I think it's a pretty solid Teo map. Could see kind of how the old map and the new agent kind of interact. I know Andy J. Shout out Andy J. He is very much so a Teo super fan. So hopefully we get to see that in action here. I know a lot of people were really excited about the new agent being added and being available finally in the last match day. So I'm kind of curious to see if it changes some play styles of teams and kind of how teams react to it, because that util is pretty annoying to deal with, especially on post plants. You can clear people off of a lot of space just off barrier by just dropping those little mollies down from heaven. And I'm excited to see how this goes here, and excited to see what agents and comps we're going to see here.
Yeah, I have firsthand experience with the rage infuriation that is hey ho post plant comps. Not fun to play against, but hey, it's in the game for a reason. Maybe that's just where the meta's going to shift, and gotta learn a new play style. So I am excited to see if some Tejo comes out. I have a feeling it will. If Andy J is a really big Tejo fan and will be playing Tejo, then maybe we'll finally see Andy J not on Sage, which will be pretty cool. Although I do love seeing those crazy, wacky Sage walls that I always thought were Grim walls, but when I asked if he was a Grim watcher, he had no idea who Grim was. So there's that. But
I feel like it's just
but
part of the culture of Sage nowadays, is that you just have all these wacky wall lineups that probably
yeah,
originated from Grimm at some point, just because obviously he's the goat of Sage. But like it's just so disconnected because people post on like Val Planned or something like that, like
oh
just those different
true.
little lineups that you can do. And so you might not even realize that it's actually like a Grimm lineup, or maybe you haven't even heard of Grimm, but you are doing a Grimm wall. Um, it looks like we'll be slightly delayed here just a little bit. We have a player that's having some technical issues, so bear with us a little bit on the stream. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think this is two of the better teams in Apprentice. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know their records off the top of my head, but
So
I
High
think
Tide is currently 2. L7 is 1, and OS, I don't believe is currently in the playoff picture. I mean, it's nobody's counted out of playoffs yet. We're only halfway through the season.
oh wow, I didn't
Or
realize
is
that
this
OS.
match day? Is this their match day 9?
I do not know actually, to be honest with you.
Well, if this
Uh,
is their match day 9, then this is the last
I think
game of
it
the first
is.
season.
I think it is the last first game of the season based on the standings, because High Tide, current, according to the website, has only played 16 games, and so has OS, and the rest have played 18. So it does look
Yeah,
that
so
way.
then definitely nobody is out of the playoff picture yet. So,
Most
um,
definitely. I mean,
big
shoot,
big game.
we had Party Animals last season. They were started out the season like what, like two
True.
and 9 or 2-11 or 2-12 or
Mhm.
something, and then they end up making a run and finishing like fifth seed or something like that. So you're never really
Yeah,
down and out until you officially clock out,
I still
or
have
just
vote.
or just like mathematically you just still eventually obviously you get ruled out if there's just not enough
Yeah,
games left to come back. But like you have a good bit of leniency to like make a comeback, especially with having 10 teams per tier. I mean, 9 games on each side of the slate with 18 on each side. I mean, it's a lot of games of Valorant still left to be played. So wouldn't
yeah,
surprise me with the talent OS has if they do end up making it into the playoffs. But that lower half seems like it's pretty competitive just throughout. I mean, there's teams beating each other. I mean, MF took a match day 9 off of the number 1 seed L7 yesterday, which I thought was pretty impressive, being that MF's ranked last currently in the standings. So that just kind of shows you how much talent spread out through Apprentice as it usually is. And you really can't ever for sure guarantee you're going to have a 2-0.
yeah. Correction, by the way. This is a reschedule of a match day 8 game. So there will not be any Tejo in this match. It is not
Ah,
allowed because it was prior. It's a match day prior to when Tejo was legal. So,
that's tough.
uh, no Tejo, unfortunately. So back to stage walls. That'll be
Yeah,
fun to
well,
see still.
yeah. We're still, at least we get to see the Grimwalls. At the end of the day, we got our Mandingle artists showing out for the crowd. I can imagine that Sage Walls, like doing Grim Walls while you're trying to be IGL, has got to be a bit tough, really. I mean, all the thinking
You
that
can
you have to
imagine.
do, and then obviously you kind of put yourself in some aggressive angles to take gunfights. It's not an easy ask, but seems like he's pretty good at it based on watching the game back against PA Apprentice. Being the AGM now, it was he had some pretty interesting Grimwalls in that game.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to swing certain angles. I'm not trying to leak anything, but swing certain angles, and all of a sudden I have to look 4 times 5 somebody's body height into the sky to shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
There's no line up the crosshair placement on that corner peak.
no, there's
But,
not.
I mean, what are your predictions for today's match? You know, are you going with a 1-1 or a 2-0 on either side?
I'm hoping for a. I think I am hoping for a 1-1.
Okay.
And honestly, I could easily see that. I don't know what OS has prepped on Fracture. I haven't seen any teams Fracture, to be honest, so I don't know what it like if High Tide's good at Fracture, if OS is good at Fracture. So it'll be interesting to see there. If it's their map pick, I have to assume that they're going to be taking that. But I would consider Fracture an attacker-sided map, in the sense that execs should be really strong because it's pretty free to pinch a site if nobody on the defender side is taking space on north or south side mains. So but then again, defenders can rotate really quickly. It's pretty short CT where you just rotate pretty fast. So it depends on how it gets played. But then High Tide, I feel like, has a pretty good Pearl. It was also their map pick, so I 100% expect them to win that map. But you never know with some Grim Walls. It might be unexpected if Andy's feeling himself. Just get a few shots on there. But Koala is in the server.
Koala is back and ready for action. It looks like we're about to head into agent picks and bans here. Excited to see, you know, what comps we're working with here. You know, honestly, I'm gonna go be bold here, and I'm actually gonna predict an OS 2-0, an upset against High Tide. I'm gonna be, you know, I'm an all or nothing kind of person, you know, and I just don't like the idea of 1-1, even though it's like probably the most likely possibility in most series. So I'm gonna go with the OS 2-0. You know, I always like rooting for the underdogs, unless it's KC, of course. But shout out Trico and VK. So yeah, we'll see here. I mean, we got potentially a double Senti comp. This would be really interesting, especially because of how fight heavy Fracture is. I feel like having no flashes really, other than just the one Vice flash, would be pretty interesting. Just because Breach is so meta on this map, I feel like, with the ability. Okay, there's the switch to Breach potentially. I think they're just playing roulette at this point. Yeah, I think they're just playing roulette at this point, messing with us. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Breach is just so meta this map, especially with how you kind of play Fracture. You obviously, ideally, you want to be fighting for at least 2 of the 4 orbs every round. If you don't, you're just gonna get stomped by people because of the alt economy and how overpowered it is. So I think the winner of this match really is going to come down to who's putting the most pressure on the orb space consistently across the map. Obviously you can't fight for all 4, but I think if you pick like north or south side and you fight for 2 of those orbs together and kind of pinch, you set yourself up for some good success here.
Yeah, and one thing to note also, if this is if these are momentum based teams, High Tide is attacking first here on what I said earlier was an attack sided map with 2 duelists. So this could be a really strong first half from High Tide and result in a really landslided victory here, but only time will tell.
I think this is interesting by OS. They're sending the initiator out by themselves.
It is
fight for orb
kid from Akron though.
Yeah.
I do like what we're seeing though. Like I mentioned in the pregame, this is a very strong map for the attacking side when you can do these really early pinches on a site. So the exec is now starting
coming out
onto B site from High Tide. Now that the oh wait, what the hell? How did Mustard Court get the first frag of the set with a nade bomb going down now? A great pick from Jag onto MVP Kid from Akron. So now just a 3v5 retake. Drag finds their second of the round. Duelists are going absolutely crazy. Can't find a third. Alfred with the pick on Drag, trying to equalize this position in a 2v4 situation. But Snowy with a Sheriff is known for their aim. Can't connect there though. Now with 2 players tagged up in Canteen, they might just try and die to bomb here. Snowy can't find the kill. One stun connects. Eagles Girl finds the pick on Snowy, and Slater gets their first of the round on Alfred the dog. And a quick first round goes to High Tide.
Yeah, I mean that was just a really good attack round by High Tide there. They did a good job of pinching the site and then breaking the trip to execute at the same time. I would like to see potentially, you know, OS trying to fall off a bit there. I think they were taking that, taking a lot of like kind of 1v1s in that situation and not necessarily swinging together and waiting for team. Obviously they had potentially 4 people could have been coming from B main or spawn area to fight on site. But overall it's a good attack round there by High Tide. Good round there by Drag. And yeah, on to the next one for High Tide. So we've got a tech pause here for a production pause. So pardon the momentary stoppage of gameplay here.
But I think we will take a quick break and return once the issue has been solved.
Yep, see you then. Okay,
All right,
VDC,
and
and we are back and ready to start playing some more rounds of Valorant here.
all right, both teams are ready, and let the play recommence.
Yeah, I'll be
wait.
I'll be interested
I have to
see.
end the. Okay, there we go. Okay, now the play can commence.
I'll be interested to see what OS's plan is here. I would assume they're gonna go for some kind of gamble stack here, and it looks like
it.
they're guessing wrong here.
Well, your guess was correct. They are gamble stacking it, but like you said, it is the wrong location. If I am High Tide and I hear that breach done, I would be sprinting. But there might be a timing that's found, providing nobody hits this trip. Oh, and it's been tripped. So now the brawl happens, and wow, OS is coming out of this with 2 picks. This is already a huge eco round. So 2 guns down, one of them being a Bulldog, the other I believe is a Spectre. So Slater, oh my goodness. Classic Slater play.
Okay,
How do you
the
come
third.
out of this alive?
Cage triggered.
21 health, trying to find the last connecting bullet onto Koala. Has already found 2, just needs 1 more, and only has a ghost for the round, so not even a gun to his name. A little bit of a standoff here. Who's going to swing first?
Looks like it's gonna be
Oh,
Koala,
nice
and
shot from
Koala's gonna
Koala.
win.
And now I think the play should just be to die to bomb. But
This
we
is
might
not-
get...
Player standing.
Oh, with the decay is just too difficult to stick the bomb there. But really well played eco from OS.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, I think that was the right idea there on pistol. You just push until you find people. Then you just kind of pick one of the 4 lanes on the map. You go north side or south side, pick one of the sites, and you just commit to it. Unfortunately, they guessed wrong, but you know, taking
Goes here.
3 guns away from High Tide is not a bad deal there.
No, not at all. So now a little bit more of a default setup from OS. Snowy holding kind of an aggressive angle here. Might play for shot and get out, but the stun is going to eliminate that
Oh.
factor. Koala could also find themselves in a bit of trouble here as well if that door does open. Snowy can't find one. Slater does get the kill on Koala, but Alfred is there for the trade. Mustard Core has been spotted with the Cypher Cam, and now High Tide are opting to rotate, but like I said, these defensive rotates can come so easily just running through CT. I mean, Fade was so far behind High Tide there in this rotate and is already now the stacked site. And this is almost a full stack that they're running into, a 3v3 situation essentially on site. But Cypher leaves and turns this into a 3v2.
30 seconds left.
Nice
Yeah, it
done.
looks like OS was a little bit unsure of maybe where they're gonna finish there.
Oh! Wow, the combination of the stun and the spam through the box from Andy J is going to find a kill. Mustard Core does find one. Drag somehow finds a pick on Alfred the dog through the paint shells. And now it's just a 2v3. And what looked like a extremely favorable matchup for OS is now completely flipped. So a 2v3, really strong post-man position. Aki gets a great kill on Kid from Akron and now finds a wallbang onto Andy J and steals the round 3-0.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just really good site takes and rotations from High Tide. It seems like you can kind of tell that there's a reason why they're okay with playing Fracture. It looks like maybe they've had some scrim time on it or something, because it seems like they have a good understanding how the map plays so far. Obviously, it's very attacker-sided, and they do have 2 duelists, so if OS can kind of stop the momentum here, I think they still have a chance.
Yeah, and I like seeing a Bucky out of the Smokes player. I know whenever I played Astra, I would always buy a shorty and sit in the smoke with my shotgun, but then it got nerfed and I stopped playing Astra. But Koala is in such a good position, is able to find one. It's really good damage onto Drag as well, and that is unhealable damage as well. So this is all of a sudden turned this into a lot more winnable for OS, being that Drag is now one shot to
Standing.
a Sheriff,
Spike
or
planted.
now a couple shots from a Stinger, but not from that range and not with a knife in your hand.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. I will say, you know, just based on kind of how the maps went so far, OS is kind of getting in this tendency to take a lot of 1v1s. obviously when you got the Bucky there, you know, you just try to get your 1 or 2, and then you're okay with your life being taken there. But as far as the other retake, there was I think 3 1v1s that they were taking against multiple High Tide members, so they've got to clean that up a little bit here
Where are you?
in these next couple rounds.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great observation. I know it's a little bit harder to be as disciplined when you're. Oh, what a flank kill from Koala. Drag does find somewhat of a trade. Slater also finds a pick, so now a 3v4, huge kill, but does get traded out. So now a 2v3 situation. They know where at least Koala is,
I know exactly
especially now. And with that Cypher ult coming out, everybody is now
Spike planted.
on their radar. Slater in a really tricky situation. If it gets cleared, this could be detrimental for High Tide success, but
Clear it.
Remaining.
that's going to be the case. And a great double swing from both Aki and Slater finds the final pick.
Yeah, I mean, this is just textbook Valorant. Everybody's swinging and trying to fight together on High Tide. They're really working the map super well. If I were OS here, I'd almost call a timeout after this round, obviously, and try to kind of establish some kind of game plan to counter what they're doing right now. I think they maybe need to apply a little bit more pressure in certain areas of the map, which it looks like they might be doing now with this breach jet. This is what I like to see, grouping up your flash initiator and
Find you.
with
And
a
paired up with
duelist.
too. Great flash, and unfortunately, no, they are able to run away, but not without taking 0 damage. Oh, Mustard Core is able to find the pick through the smoke and is now one off their ult. So with this orb is now going to have ult for entry, which they might end up ripping. Alfred is
Oh,
in
they may not
such a
clear
sneaky
the-
position here. Can't find 1, 2.
Oh.
3 with the spray transfer, but Kid from Akron is there to pick that up. Now with
Just hide from the
Ritual
cloak
online
here.
and bomb down, this is getting really, really tricky. Especially
Well,
with the
Eagle still
Crow
gets
vault, they're just
flame
gonna
down.
wait it out.
Yeah, no, that was excellent there by OS, and now the key here is just to you know, retake together here.
What a shot! And Slater is in probably an unclearable situation. Definitely not now though. And a huge double ult. Oh my goodness! If he got that kill, that would have been insane. Now just a double swing needs to come out, and Mustard Core goes down. Ult's invested, but they needed to get around on the board.
Yeah, I feel like
Here.
if Slater would have gotten that kill pulled off on Dingle Fartis, I would have probably crapped my pants there, just because that just kind of proves that you know, breach alts, breach util, breach stuns need buffs, and they need to actually stun people, because these one taps have got to stop with that ult and that stun.
I concur.
That goes there.
But yeah, you know, good round there by OS. They applied pressure and kind of seemed like they were trying to force them into a particular site, which I thought was really good there and well played. And it seems like they're gonna fight this again.
Find you.
Yeah, and speaking of breach ults, now he has theirs online, but both players now have taken serious damage. OS have found some great success in these past 2 rounds with this aggression out of B main, and a huge pick from Kid from Akron as well onto Mustard Core. So that is 2 duelists down. Entry is not impossible with a breach ult online, but with such low health, surely they just try and find a pick somewhere, try and equalize this position a little bit, and then go from there. But it looks like Kid from Akron has snooped out the full health Slater, and now it's just weak Eagle Squirrel and weak Aki versus a 5-man squad.
I mean, here almost, I think you almost save for econ's sake if you can. If you can't get a pick early, I mean, a 2v5 with this HP is just pretty unwinnable.
Yeah,
It seems like they're
I
gonna
agree.
force the issue here.
30 seconds left.
Oh, almost an
this
aftershock
could be huge.
kill. And oh, what looked like it was playing anti wasn't. So now Aki is able to find a pick on Dingle Fartis. But Kid
All
from
in the
Akron with the 4K. Huge round. And now is close to his ult once again after using it 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the name of the game on Fracture is you have to fight on defense. You know, wise comebacks once told me that if you're on defense, you need to play like you're on offense, and if you're on offense, you need to kind of play like you're on defense on Fracture. And it kind of holds true here. I mean, once OS has kind of kicked on the aggression, pairing their Snowy up with Kid from Akron and trying to go fight for some space, they've had a lot of success.
I like now that they're waiting out the util. They have learned from past mistakes. And if they heard that dash, they might choose to push off of it. However, they are still holding for the aggression. After 2 straight rounds, it seems like they've somewhat conditioned High Tide to think that they're just going to go full on and not over aggress, which
Oh, we could
great
have timing
discipline
here.
from OS so far, but it seems like it's already been sniffed out. And Aki now holding such a good breach ult, but it's only going to connect on one. There's so many people CT now that it might not find a whole lot of success. Eagles Girl trying to find a connection through the smoke gets counter spammed, but Bomb is able to go down. Only 1 person down from each team. 2 ults from OS, 1 from High Tide, and the post plant positions now look borderline unbreakable. However, Snowy trying to drag a crosshair, doesn't have dash, and Slater tries to get a pick on the breach stun but can't capitalize. We all know that thing is cosmetic. Now,
Player standing.
oh, what a shot from Aki. All the locations have been found out, but huge ult potentially if they can capitalize on it, but drag with a 4K on the round. And what a complete meltdown of a retake.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they've got to spread their retake out a little bit there, just because, you know, like I said, that round they took a lot of 1v1s there, not really fighting together there. Jet swung out, gets picked off pretty quickly by themselves on that crossfire. No util really being thrown out to help support the Jet. Obviously, you have the breach that's down. I think one thing that OS should consider doing is saving some of the util, because they're burning a lot of util really early into the round, and High Tide's just kind of farming it.
Slater has been spotted into Dish. And luckily this time only a rechargeable util has been thrown from Dingle Fardis, so both Prowlers still online.
Cage triggered.
Slater's still trying to make as much noise as possible, but has now paired up with Drag. Andy holding out the Steez. Doesn't have a nade or anything to combo with it, and is going to hope that the gun can get the job done. Snowy with knives can be a threat here. But I like the slow play. Trying to find a pick. Slater being really methodical with these Cypher cams. Once cam goes out and Andy J thinks that there's a potential push coming, uses the C's. And little do they know, I mean, Slater has gotten 4 people onto this A site, and now it's borderline free for
And there goes the pinch.
High Tide, and now Snowy
Spike planted.
down for the count. Slater also finds a pick of their own. And now it's just a 3v5 situation. Really, really well played attacking round so far. Alfred trying to find some connections on Mustard
Not a
Core.
lot of HP on
Finds
the
one
side of High
and
Tide.
2. All up to Koala. They know where they are now, have heard all of the different gun sounds. Can try and find a connection through the smoke. Will find one, but Drag with the cleanup. 7-2 thus far.
Yeah, I mean,
We know the drill.
High Tide's
Stick
just
to your roles and we'll crush it.
doing their thing on this map. They're kind of having their way with forcing OS to play to how they want to play. And OS just can't seem to find that tell or that counter to what High Tide's kind of bringing to the table right now. So I'd look to see if maybe they make an adjustment, which looks like they might be here. Fighting for Dish here. This could be
I love
some
this.
quick action here.
Oh, they are going extremely loud, so this will be sniffed out, but they're pushing straight into it and get double blinded. So now Kid from Akron is able to find one with the Sheriff. Snowy is right there for the trade, so all space has been collected on the north side of the map, only losing one body. Breach now has ult online, and guns are in the hands of OS. So this is not unwinnable. But once again, we've seen situations like this from High Tide where their post plan seems to be just so strong. And when Jag is shooting with a 14-5 scoreline, it's definitely possible. But look at this stun from Aki. Such great positioning from Breach. And I love this cross setup too. Nice flash, but is really only connect on one. Drag is able to find one, and with the reposition on the dash, is able to find another. One gets three, and everybody just falls, funneling out.
Yeah, that's just really good post plant there by High Tide. I mean, they planted for main, and then they had their shooters set on site and just try to frag out as much as possible. And
we
Drag sets them there. So it sorry for the comm from Aki there. It was probably a fat finger on the key for all the viewers out there. But yeah, no. I mean, it's a good round by High Tide there, you know. Looked promising for OS, but being a save, low HP from some of the members, it just didn't plan out the way they wanted.
Yeah, and I like this aggression from High Tide, but they picked the side where Cypher and Raze have been tag teaming every time, and oh my goodness, this could be horrible timing, especially with the knives out. Drag is able to find one, and they know Andy is tower, but are they ready for Snowy? It seems like they are. With the crouch hold, wasn't expecting that one. Was good crosshair placement, but that definitely changed it. Drag, no F's given, swings out of the smoke, dry, finds a pick, and is now hunting for an ace. Two players left alive. Koala is going to be hunting for a 1v1. Is able to get one. Drag finds their fourth in the round. Now
And
potential
Drag gets
6K online.
Last player standing.
Gets 5. No, but the timing in the smoke. Can't find the 6. And Koala
but-
does find 3, but just all for naught.
Last round.
Hey, the
before
true ace
switch.
there by Drag though, of note, you know, just couldn't finish off Clove for the second time. You know, that's the patented koala run and spray tactic that I've heard so much about in action, and pans out there for the 3K. But yeah, I mean, what you kind of expected to see here a little bit. HT dominant double duelist comp. This is going to be their strong side. One of the more attacker side maps in the league or in the game. So no surprise here.
Yeah, and I mean, Mustard Core and Slater on this north side of the map have been just destroying and dismantling this OS defense. I mean, sometimes they're not even there, but look at already. Slater has so much space and is in CT, likely hears Breach, and with all that space, he's just going to push up, find a kill, and reposition now. And that's gotten the attention of Kid from Akron, but isn't able to find anyone, especially with that cage up. Kid from Akron trying to find another pick here. I like this ult, but is he ready for it? No! Isn't going to be able to rip it, and instead Mustard Core gets their ult, can't find 2, but Slater is there for the trade in a really dominant first half by High Tide.
Switching sides.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of a misplay there.
Try something.
Have some breach util up, chose to dry swing, and unfortunately they had a man waiting for him there. So you hate to see it there, but you know, at this current state of the game, I mean, this High Tide team is in the backpack of Drag. Drag is playing out of their mind right now, 22-6 in the first half. Just a great game by Drag so far. Let's see if OS can make some changes here to kind of counteract and slow Drag down and get back into this game. Gotta win pistol round here if you want to give yourself a chance.
Absolutely, and it looks like High Tide is looking to get proactive on this defense with an early stun and nade combo, but nothing is here. Now Koala trying to get into a little bit of a ratty position, has been spotted. One player goes down, Raid Boss down in drag, and Mustard Core is going to escape with their life, but is weak. Now both players who did engage in those duels on the north side of the map from OS are extremely weak though, and especially when walking into a Slater setup, could get severely punished. But does Alfred find the timing? He can. So that is Cypher trips down, and an A site Pride wide open. Eagle Score is going to get stunned, and that is a site wide open. Dingle Fartis is able to escape from the spam and able to get bombed down in a really nice plant position. Cam is up and gone. Aki starts the exec, but look at these post-plant positions. It's such a smart play. Don't peek, avoid the util, and now what a strong first pistol round. Can Eagles Girl connect on anything? There's one. One player is weak, but they are one shot. Finds two.
No way.
I mean, surely there's no more time, but making a statement. The run and gun.
Oh.
Not quite the Koala run and gun that we're used to, but still.
Yeah,
Decent
you always
effort.
root. You always root for the 1v5s to be pulled off, just because it's fun from a viewer standpoint. But really great round there by OS. Looked like a very strong attack. Looks like High Tide kind of shows their hand a little bit of how they're going to play defense, try to be aggressive. I anticipate that they're probably going to be really aggressive here, being that it's a save round. But a crucial step towards OS coming back in this game is winning that pistol round here, and gotta secure this round too.
Yeah,
Good
the
stun.
anti-eco is incredibly important, and you're right, a phenomenal stun to try and halt any any push. Mustard Core finds two. I mean, excellent shots from the Sheriff here. That's two guns down. However, they are somewhat protected, and in light of trying to protect numbers, are going to avoid trying to get the Bulldogs. Oh my gosh, I thought that was a defender. So Alfred and friends are able to set up this post plant position, but now guns are in the hands of High Tide. So Slater, one of the more dangerous players on this roster with a Bulldog. Mustard Core already seems to be pretty dangerous with the Sheriff, but unfortunately not dangerous in the line of sight of Alfred the Dog, who's at 3 health and looking for 3 kills, but can't quite connect.
Cage triggered.
And now it's just Slater in a 1v2.
Oh, didn't clear the
Can't
corner.
fully clear
all the
the
way.
corner.
Yeah,
And that
I'm
is the
also
round,
guilty of
so-
that. The good old soft clear there, where you don't hard clear it. It'll get you. But overall, not a bad save round there from High Tide. I mean, they took a lot of guns away, and if you're OS, you're gonna have to force up what you can here. Seems like they still got pretty good money, especially taking 2 guns into the next round. But this is a big round here for OS. If they can win this, then they set themselves up to go 6-10 pretty easily.
Yeah, if they can win this, is the statement, and that is definitely one of the ways to get there. A huge opening pick from Koala to get a wallbang on Raid Boss Drag. Now 22-9.
And
But
a Vandal
still,
for their
later.
possession.
Basically alone here. And can't quite get through. And I think the trip is still up, but Slater goes down to a shot through the smoke. And now a 2v3 in the favor of OS the attackers. Bomb is down, but is quickly recovered, and the plant is started. It is not a safe plant, but doesn't matter when nobody's going to contest.
Yeah,
Once
I
again-
mean, this is anybody's round still here, but OS is looking strong with their post plant positions.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but they do have the gun advantage. The Cypher trips are there and have been broken, but Alfred the Dog is able to find a pick. Mustard Core trying to be the savior that High Tide needs here, but they can't get it done. So Alfred going huge with 3, and now it's 5-10. We laid out the plan at the start of this half, and so far, to win this game, they have been executing.
Yeah, no, I mean, just a solid round there. Started off with a great shot from Koala to wallbang Drag. Sorry, Jag's my teammate, but Drag is in this game. Drag in the head through the box, and then also
Your line can't
shot
hold
through
forever.
the Cypher cage and one-tap Cypher too. So 2 good shots there from Koala, setting OS up for success early.
Yeah, and I like the aggressive play. Unfortunately, as you would put it, they guessed wrong. But with the Cypher trip broken, surely they pick up the pace here on B. I mean,
They're not aware.
dude, they're going to be getting run up on. Mustard Core finds 1, can't find 2. Kid from Akron gets the trade, but Mustard Core finds their 2nd. Kid from Akron gets the trade, but with the ult online,
Out of
is
charges.
gonna go down. So now,
One enemy
And he
By
guessed
not-
right.
picking up the pace, are getting absolutely punished. Mustard Core, oh, what a shot from Alfred. Mustard Core finding 3rd on the round, is now hunting for their 4th, in already an incredible round.
I have
For
retrieved the
them.
spike.
Not completely unwinnable. If this is checked, can't quite connect.
And we'll see
And
you
the
back
quick
on A
rotate.
side.
Yeah. Through CT. The opposing team spawn of all things is going to give him this free plant.
It looks like
Now
High
the
Tide
question is,
is
where does he
Retrieved the
position?
spike.
content on playing together here.
Really, really smart. Whoever their IGL is telling them to play together, let the bomb get planted. I love this positioning. I almost would have wanted to play up in ropes, but I still love it nonetheless. The question is, do they clear it?
Got to be patient here if you're Alfred.
They know they're off. Oh my goodness, this is... Oh, but because they didn't swing, Mustard Core is somewhat aware. But
Does he
Mustard
have the
Core...
time?
Oh, there's no time! He won the round!
Wow.
Gosh.
What a round there, man. That was great stuff there. I mean, when OS needed it the most, you know, as I kind of talked about in the pregame, kind of how do the new players mix with kind of the veterans of the apprentice tier like Alfred and Drag, and you're kind of seeing those 2 aspects come into play here on the offense side. Alfred, um, really big plays when they needed it. And just another one there, which is huge for the comeback to be possible here. I mean, dropping that round is detrimental. So good stuff there from Alfred.
Absolutely, and I don't know what High Tide's mental is like historically, but losing rounds like those where it just seems like it's in your grasp, and same thing with like Drag dying to a wallbang, and same thing with Slater dying through a smoke. Those things eventually will start to take a toll on frustration and your mental, and it might just get to
Crest,
with the
wallbang.
cam out, tries to avoid it but can't quite. That will start the exec, and now it's just Slater alone, blind, in Eagle Scroll,
One enemy
finding
remaining.
1, and Slater is
Spike
holding it down
down
after being
A.
completely utilized. Can't hear a thing, but bomb is down, and now it's just a 1v4 scenario. And Koala is able to find 1, but can't find another. What a recovery.
Yeah,
I got your backs.
I like that
From the
trip
front.
there. It gives you a little bit more aggression play through the wall bang in heaven. Something you always got to be cautious of. You know, I always give that box a little spray up top just because you can oftentimes hear footsteps and be prepared for something like that. But that was a good changeup of the setup there just to catch them off guard on their back foot a little bit there from Slater, and a good round overall. Not great money situation here for OS. This is kind of a do or die moment here for them.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, and if Alfred can get value out of the Sheriff, it'd be huge, but depends on if he slow peeks in a drag or not. But Mustard
Yeah,
Core
Get him.
also
thing to
seems
keep
like
in
a raid
mind,
bust at this point.
we're 8 out of 9 orbs on this breach here, so maybe they can rotate farm orbs here potentially, which would be a smart thing to do here.
And Kid from Akron
Uh,
just got his ult.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and
Yep.
now is going into hell. Probably getting ready for this. Yeah. Oh, are they trying to fake this? I wonder what the play is because if yep, there is the breach ult, but
but a
drag
missed drag.
misses. Huge smokes though. The question is, will they be ready for? Oh, they definitely are.
Oh,
Kid from Akron finding the kill. Mustard Core trying to get a stuck in, but does escape with their life, but walks straight into the bomb planter. Oh, Eagles Girl finding a pick through the smoke. Can't find another, but has ult online. So now a 3v3 sort of situation. If
Bring them down.
if a kill could be found from Eagles Girl,
Last
would be
player
huge.
standing.
Can't find it. Slater now finds their third on the round, and now it's just all up to Andy. Flashes out, can't avoid it. Slater finds their fourth on the round, and in a do or die situation, they chose the wrong one.
they chose death. But overall, the execution was a good thought. I think Akron maybe walked a little too far forward with the breach ult and didn't clear as much as needed. But obviously, with Andy J's eye, they were able to see drag through the smoke before
This
entering
goes
sight. But I think if they're gonna slow down that much, I think they need to fake a little harder, just because it didn't seem like they got anyone to rotate on that hit.
This should
And I think with breach out, you kind of want to go a little bit quicker than that.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, it was a nice try nonetheless, but now, like we said, extremely do or die situation now. Dingle Fartis now in a totally naked buy, but has a gun, which might be able to get transferred amongst his teammates. Kid from Akron trying to see what they can find in mud, trying to now set up a little bit of a crossfire, but Drag is not going to bite, but is in such a sneaky position. I see this position not get cleared too many times, but the jig is up now, and Kid from Akron finds the kill through the box. So 4 players now seen, but I love this hold. It's bomb is headed towards A, and the question is, can Slater win the gunfight against Alfred? Yes, he can. And now this bait has just been completely foiled. And Mustard Core finds a kill on Koala as well. And this is completely fallen apart, especially with the breach all online from High Tide.
30
Looks like
seconds
they're
left.
willing to give up sight here a little bit, and we might have a timing here from Kid from Akron or Mustard Court. They might catch each other on a timing here. A Kid from Akron doesn't look like he's ready for it.
But there's no time. There's such little time. Luckily, site is basically open, but there's the breach all online.
Mark one.
Oh no! What is happening?
Oh,
Andy's the worst time to
no.
lag. No. And that is
And
gonna
just like
that's
that.
Defenders win.
how it goes down.
Dang, yeah, that's sad to see the lag there. Really finishing the job there for High Tide, but you know, overall a very solid showing from High Tide. OS looked like they had it figured out a little bit there to start the attack rounds, but unfortunately they did not. Great game by multiple players on High Tide. I mean, we had 223 bombs and Mustard Core following up with a 19. Oops, sorry, I had a hiccup. 19. So overall, a great showing by High Tide there. Their fracture looked very solid, and they looked like they just had a way better understanding of how that map should be played there. So, you know, props to them there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with that, we will be embarking on a quick 5-minute breather. And we
Yeah.
shall see you for map 2.
Peace.
Second best, someone that you could forget. Got me drinking that healing, sinking in this feeling. Will you be that time, giving me the signs of life? Making you are clear, but you're gonna leave me in the deep. Will you be that time, giving me the signs of life? Of
Well. Go to Goat Up. It is the VDC podcasters back for map 2.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for map 2. Looked like OS started to heat up a little bit there on attack side, and so maybe they can keep that kind of momentum that they built near the end of that map, rolling into Pearl to pull out a 1-1 here. I think one of the biggest things, if there are games where you do lose by quite a few rounds, I think one thing I do as an IGL is try to tell my team that who cares about this game, just try to get some rounds and get some confidence and momentum, and worry about the second map. So hopefully OS is rallied around that philosophy here, and we'll see a strong showing here. Looks like we are about to head into, I about said picks and bans, but this is unfortunately not League of Legends. We're going to go into Agent Select here. And I'm kind of excited to see, I keep thinking that there's going to be a tail popping up, but unfortunately it's match day 8. And they're hovering tail at least I get that.
In my experience, I do know Kid from Akron to be a little bit of a troll. But I think I want to say Pearl is one of OS's stronger maps. So I think they were happy to play this, but once again, High Tide is starting on attack with double duelist, and we'll see how it goes. I'm also interested no Sage this entire set.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing there. Yeah, I will say though, it's a bit interesting to see people running double dome smokes. I feel like that's a bit of an interesting choice here, and we'll see how it plays out. I think from OS side, I don't necessarily like seeing like your best fragger on Astra, because it's a very passive agent where you have to sit in Astra form for quite a while to be able to throw down all of your orbs and whatnot. So I will be excited to see what happens here. Good look at the best spray in the game there, the cat, and we're ready for some Valorant action here. Looks like that's the glorious hidden teddy bears. Shout out the Riot development team there.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of value Slater gets this map, but it looks like this time he's playing with the team in a Great Flash coming out, which prompts Arena Blind from Jag. And
What a util
honestly,
out.
Dingo Fartis has been studying his lineups. That's 5 players spotted, so surely that's going to drag some rotates over, but I'm impressed with the util already from Andy J. But even though 5 have been spotted from that knife, it's not going to stop a Nexec at all. And no, Drag finds a pick on Alfred, who has his cam out.
There.
Snowy's elbow is showing as well. Oh, but can they clear Dingle Fartis? No, the whiff is coming out. Snowy is able to find one, but Drag now hunting for their ace on the first round of this map. But Mustard Core might have something to say about it.
No peeking.
Koala trying to
And
get through the
Drag
smoke.
gets the ace.
Eagles Girl
Nope.
finds the kill instead. And now it's all up to OS, Kid from Akron, aka Wheelchair Peak, with a classic to his name and 1 star to go with it. And is now just going to try and play the right click game.
And this gets bullied. You know, just a really good round there. It started out really promising there for OS. They got a really good knife, slowed down the push just a little bit to get the rotates over, but a couple people getting caught out of position, a couple people exposed to an angle that they didn't realize, and you know, HT capitalized. Only lost 1 troop there in the entire round, so you know, good on them there.
Yeah, seriously, with all that aggression to come out of that, with only 1 person going down. Look at this. Oh, Slater is able to find one, but quick trade from Kid from Akron. Bombs away. Mustard Core can't find one like he did on Fracture with an early nade, but Drag is able to find one with the Vandal now.
Last
Finds
player
2.
standing.
Almost finds a pick on Eagles Girl, but against a 1v3, that's not quite going to work when you have a Ghost as the only gun in your arsenal. So now Alfred about to cross paths with Drag, who finds their 3rd of the round back to back. 3 Ks from Drag and
The
still
last thing they'll
0
see before
deaths.
they die.
Yeah, I always find it. I find Slater's buying interesting. Always opt to go with the Ghost on the round when there, and then going with Light Shield Vandal the next round. So I like the strategy behind that there to have another Vandal to support to try to punish and get 3 rounds in a row instead of just conceding the 2 for 1
There.
like usual.
Yeah, and confidence is key. So if he is confident in his ability to find picks with the Ghost, which so far he has been able to, the power to him, because now he has a Vandal in his hand alongside Drag, who carried one over from last round. So
All the
especially when you
trips
have
down.
Drag backing you up too. Aggie is able to find an opening pick with a Spectre now on Alfred. So that is now 3 potential Vandals in the hands of High Tide. Koala can't quite find the pick on Drag. And Kid from Akron finally finds one on Slater. So that is one of the raid bosses, but when there's multiple on the other team, one doesn't make a whole lot of damage, especially when Snowy is able to find 2.
1 enemy remaining.
With bomb down,
I like the reposition
this
there by
ghost plant
Mustard.
is so difficult, and I love this as well. Snowy just in a seemingly unwinnable position, just trying to find picks, and is going to opt to save. I mean, with that high-low, it's borderline impossible to win that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great, great round there from High Tide. A really great knife from Aki to hunt down the Cypher, shut down the trip, and then catch him out in the open, trying to get a pick before he falls away into the darkness of night, waiting for his team for the retake. So great stuff there. And you know, High Tide looking very strong to start out this game. As well, you know, it seems like the double duelist attack side at start is, you know, a really strong strategy for High Tide.
Yeah, the 2 attacking halves from High Tide starting. Whoa! Kid from Akron finds 2. Our observer was sneezing. Let's go with that. So,
Obscuring vision.
but I'm gonna say I saw the whole thing. Really great shots. You guys missed crazy shots from Kid from Akron, but Slater finds one and ships passing in the night. Slater now ahead of the curve with Koala trailing behind and now is able to run. But Bomb can't quite go down now.
Cage
And with
triggered.
Alfred having a gun in his hand, it's possible. He is able to find one, almost
Spike
finds
down,
2.
B.
Only gets some damage on Eagles Girl instead. But now, so many defenders here to deny this spike plant. If only shots can connect, Eagles Girl is starting to go huge. And Slater finds his 3rd of the round.
And
What
with the Clo
a
Vault, they're
meltdown.
gonna save a gun too. That's pretty huge. Clo Vault down for the cost of a weapon there. So not a terrible trade-off there. The alt econ of OS is looking pretty weak right now. I mean, they do have the retake potential with the Astra Wall here, so I'd be interested to see if they're kind of play a little bit more retake and play off of that here.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing a double smoke comp, like you had mentioned earlier, and oh my, and it just seems like every time any aggression gets completely sniffed out, the High Tide has such a strong grip on this mid control so far throughout this map that it seems like any form of contesting that OS does, it just gets completely shut down. Snowy in a one and done position is able to get out because of the dash and now has their knives. But Alfred can't find shots on players with their back turns. Those are always the hardest ones to hit, but Snowy is starting to really get activated here. Alexa, play activated by T Grizzly. Alfred the dog finds finds a kill from Flowers finally while they're looking at him.
Yeah, no, really solid round there from OS. Great play there from Snowy to get his one get out, and then came back with vengeance with the knives and the updraft there to stop the plant. You know, I think with the double smokes, you know, you kind of have to play a little bit more passive, or you have to really commit to the fight and have a lot of people trying to take that mid space, just because you don't have a ton of util to like mitigate people from being there.
Wow, and Snowy, while running away, may have let turn their guard down, and Kid from Akron was able to capitalize on it. Snowy trying to find another, but can't quite be satisfied with 2 kills and loses their life because of it. So now a 2v3 situation, 1.5 full healths on the side of High Tide, but information is out. They know where every player on OS is. The question is, can Slater capitalize on this? They hear the Cypher Trip. Oh, can't quite crouch under it. Oh, and they might get caught with their util out. They don't and do avoid it, but are now in such a crazy position. And Mustard Core, who has bomb, is now ready for a pinch on Koala. This could get dangerous. Now a 2v2 situation, completely equalized. Mustard Core still only at 45 HP, but we've seen how dangerous they can be with any amount of health or any gun.
Yeah, I mean, Alfred looks like he's going to choose to wait for Andy's rotate here.
They hear the footsteps.
I love Valorant. They're just sitting on the opposite sides of the wall from each other, and
No.
Mustard gets taken out.
1v1. I love this. Force them out. No. Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Swinging into the KO Molly was not something I had in my bingo card there. But
I don't think he realized that if he was in it or not. And then once he realized he did, he was like, man, I guess I have to swing. But it took so long for him to swing that Andy thought it was clear.
Yeah, no, I mean, just a great round there from High Tide, turning nothing into something there. I mean, you lose two people really quickly there. You quickly trade them back after a couple exchanges, and then just worked the map really well there and slowed the pace down a little bit.
Oh, and because of all the aggression that they've shown, especially getting burnt on it last round, a lot of util getting burned early to clear out A main, but it looks like they're going to be executing this regardless, so it doesn't matter that the util has
great
been already
stun
burned.
there.
Snowy is still able to find one, finds two as well, can't quite escape with their life because of that KO ult. And now Drag
Spike
takes a
planted.
swing into Dinglefartis, who's ready for it,
One enemy
and gets
remaining.
punished. Slater once again finding a kill on somebody who isn't looking at them, something that they are very fluent in. Oh, what a shot from Slater, but Kid from Akron getting the kill with the knife.
Wow. I mean, you don't see a lot of knife kills, but you got to appreciate them when they happen, you know.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, a good round there by OS. Started out with Snowy getting a lot of good info and being able to get out safely. A really great stun on the choke point to get out on the site there by Akron, and then a really good follow up there by Snowy to get two, and set him up for a lot of success early on in that round. And yeah, so good round win there from OS.
Right there.
Yeah, after a somewhat of a lackluster map one, I love the fact that Snowy is really starting to pick up the aggression. Kid from Akron, when paired alongside Snowy, are a pair of shooters. So I think High Tide are quickly realizing that, and Alfred finds a pick on Slater. So finally, Lurker down, and now once again a 2v4 situation.
Everyone hiding.
Trying to
All
secure the
coming out
round with
here.
the Cypher all as well. Know exactly where they are.
Information has been brokered here.
And now trying to find a pinch, but the question is, are they going to give up 1v1s and eliminate this lead that they
Volley
have?
here.
Really great Molly, and Andy J, no, the 1v1s come out, and now a 2v2 situation. Are they ready for this
Oh,
work?
no.
Oh, and the whiff,
Spike planted.
it's all falling apart. All up to Koala and Alfred.
Oh, no,
Alfred
yeah,
finding somebody with their util out, trying to find a pick. Aki gets the kill with the distraction, and now it's just all up to Koala, who has nothing but a Guardian in their hand, and in a very spammable position.
Oh my goodness.
Are they just going to... No way.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a little bit more trigger discipline out of Koala there. Had a really good flank. They were very clueless that it was happening. And I would have liked to see a little bit more of a clearer shot there. Could have changed the round potentially for OS, but a lot of 1v1s and High Tide making something out of nothing again there with the 2v4 win.
This is my spot.
I mean, just great util usage and just playing together there by Aki
Set up.
and
Yes.
Mustard.
Yeah, and time again, they are able to capitalize on the mistakes that are being made. What happened
I think
there?
he
I guess
thought
some false
camera cleared
confidence
it.
from the cam.
Yeah.
And Snowy's able to get their ult off of that, and now has a bit of an upgrade in their arsenal. So, although High Tide won that round, it wasn't extremely amazing for the econ. I mean, you have Drag with the Guardian, and Kid from Akron is able to find two. Aki is no longer able to be rezzed and only has 32 HP. Left click flashes, does connect, but a phantom moment, and Mustard Core trying to escape with their life. Now completely aware of where Mustard Core is, Alfred hunts them down in a really well played defensive round from OS.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to kind of keep an eye on for the viewers out there. The econ is not great of High Tide, and OS's econ is decently healthy, especially if they can keep some guns from this round and not mitigate the amount of deaths that they have here. They can set themselves up pretty good for a potential run at a 6-6 half here if they play their cards right. But you know, you can never count High Tide out, as they've shown many times this game so
Yeah.
far. So, be interested to see what happens here.
Yeah, and I mean, I have to attribute a lot of it to Slater. I feel like a lot of times Slater's the one who spearheads these comebacks, and Koala gets two through the smoke.
Oh,
And Kid from Akron trying to take advantage of all of the hectic noise that Koala had just made, but can't capitalize, and Dinglefardus can though. So now a 2v4, but we've seen 2v4 situations from High Tide against this team time and time again, and High Tide seems to always find a way.
no, I agree.
But this time they don't have the gun advantage, and it's going to be a hell of a lot more difficult. Oh, what an angle from Alfred. Can't quite connect with a shot. And with a stinger run and gun, and once again, 2 picks falling.
Last player standing.
Koala is able to get a kill with the ult. Question is Aki going to find the timing? Yes. So now a 1v2, once again
30 seconds
completely,
left.
not completely, unwinnable. The question is, oh, will this bomb be able to get planted? Oh, such a great play from Snowy, playing around the smokes, is able to find the final pick. A little scary,
I hate to say
but
it,
a round down
probably
nonetheless.
best to play as a team. So,
Yeah,
what's
I
the
mean,
plan?
you know, a good round win there. You know, it was a little bit costly for OS, but they still do have a decently healthy economy right now, so nothing to worry about. If they can win this round, they set themselves up really for a strong 6-6 halftime going into their attack half. So if they can win this round, they put themselves in a really good position.
It almost sounded like an Odin at first. It was just 4 Vandals shooting. But one thing that we haven't really seen is a dominant B take where you just plant the bomb and run away and play post play. Now, Asherwall has been online since very early in this half, and that might be scaring them from doing so. But I like how they have decided to re-hit this, and nobody is quite there to see how many players there are. But now the jig is up, and Andy once again getting burnt in the same spot as before. Mustard Core finding the pick through the box there, and I guess asking you shall receive. Bomb is being planted for long, but Alfred and Koala both combine for a pair of kills of their own. Eagles Girl has the ult popped and might be able to find one? No, cannot. So now a 3v3 situation, but Drag has the ult online, and with the wall up, it can be quite difficult. But Drag finds one, can't quite get 2. Oh, and finds the second for their second on the round in a
Last round
7-4,
in the half.
potentially a 7-5 half, significantly better than before.
Yeah, I mean, that was really good on the side of High Tide. I mean, their shooters are coming through when they need them the most here, and you know, just really good gameplay overall. So, you know, hopeful for OS to pull out a round here and put themselves in a good spot for the attack half.
Yeah, and honestly, for a 7-5 half against comp that has 2 duelists, I mean, it's pretty solid. They have a really strong grip of mid control right now and have total control of art. But after all of that aggression, High Tide just chooses to cut down in potentially gear up for a rehit, which is something that they did last round and might be aware of. Oh, can Koala find this kill? No, is not quite
I
ready
know
for it. Mustard
exactly
Core is
where
able to find one, and with that comes all of the positions from the brokered information. Wow, Andy with these flash lineups are quite impressive. After seeing him essentially being, oh, can't find
One
two.
enemy remaining.
Right here.
Oh, and this has just been pried open. Kid from Akron can't quite get the pick on Slater, and they go huge for a 3K on the round, bringing it to an 8-4 attacking half.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you know, they've definitely got their work cut out for them here. It looks like we need a quick intermission. We have a player that is disconnected here, so we'll be a short stoppage here. But yeah, I mean, it looks like you're having another strong performance from you know, those stars on high tide that are kind of trying to carry them across the finish line here to finish off 2-0. I'd like to see a lot of Snowy and Kid from Akron pairing up together here and letting their shooters shoot. I think that's one of their biggest strengths are those two players' guns, and I think if they can utilize that along with kind of their double smokes, kind of slow down the pace a little bit, kind of bleed out some util. I think they'll be in a really good spot.
Yeah, and another thing too, Aki, I'm not Aki, I just see them on my screen. Um, uh, Dingle Fardis, like I had mentioned before, it seems like they have uh studied up on some KO flashes, potentially some knives, and I'm interested to see how they can set up Snowy or some of their other shooters on the roster to get some kills in these upcoming rounds. I mean, 8-4, they have double the amount of defensive rounds that they had last time, but it's not quite a satisfying or satisfiable position to be in. Uh, vocab is fleeting my mind right now, but um, but so many of those rounds I mean, this could easily be 6-6, maybe even 7-5 defensive half for OS if, you know, they chose to play numbers, but it seemed like they're time and time again were throwing lives away and just letting High Tide back into these rounds in which High Tide 100% capitalized on. So, um, yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy to
yeah,
think that it could be this different of a map so far.
yeah. I think one of the biggest things that I'd like to see, I think Andy does have those really good um, knife and flash lineups that it looks like he has cooked up. I'd like to see people kind of capitalizing on it a little bit more. I don't think there's a lot of kills off of there, and it kind of reflects in the assist column there with 2 assists going into the attack side. So I'd like to see a little bit more follow up and conviction with the team when he's throwing that util coming forward here, because it seems like it's pretty effective and it's hitting a lot of
Can't
people.
be
But
capitalized on.
yeah, there's just no one in position to follow it up. So I'd like to see that here from
I agree.
OS.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But now with everyone back in the server, tech pause has ended, and let the second half commence. If OS start this half how they started the previous attacking half, then they might be in a much better position here. But only time will tell. I like the completely silent play here. They found a gap in the defense, and if somebody were to just go up there and try and find a kill on Aki, but it seems like they're aware, and while running into Slater, it could get dangerous.
Cage trigger.
Oh, and Slater once again has found a timing.
Spike planted.
Can't quite find two players running on their screen, and the sensitivity is not high enough. Koala is able to get that trade, and now a 4v4 situation. interesting post-plant positions, though. I like the crosses, and I like this position that Koala has found themselves in, because surely they don't. Oh, surely they don't clear it, was what I was going to say, but Drag clearly was aware. So now 2 kills already from High Tide to pry this open, and now it's all up to Dingle Fardis, who can't get it done. And although so many players were weak, the kills just were not found.
Yeah, I think Brimmy is running into a technical difficulty. I think we had a Valorant crashy occur, but I can still see the stream in the call, so have no fear, everyone.
Remy with the crashy #bang.
Yeah, the show must go on ultimately. But yeah, I mean, you know, High Tide is just a force to be reckoned with, and they are showing it here.
Absolutely.
Able to you know, sit down some of the better shooters in the tier from OS.
Oh,
Spike down.
and Drag is just so disciplined to clear all of these angles. I mean, it seems like
Found my wire.
so consistently interesting. Pre-fire maybe trying to bait. Oh, but look at all the space that Asher has from High Tide. Kid from Akron, unfortunately, they don't have the bomb, so it doesn't really mean anything. But
There.
unless they can find something, but it looks like Mustard Core is now ready for it, and a pistol against a Marshall that is already aiming at you. That might not always work. Drag finds their third of the round, and now it's all up to Alfred, who can't get it done. A flawless round from High Tide, and it's starting to spiral out of control.
Yeah, I mean, really solid start to the round there. You know, they have their plan. They want to be aggressive. They want to take space, especially with double duels. It's very vital that you take space and fight and use your agents to your advantage, because obviously there's not a lot of stall potential on the side of HT if there is a site being taken. So you kind of got to take the fight to them, and that's exactly what they're doing. And you know, they're executing it to a T right now. So
Yeah, and Mustard Core tries to find a timing on that recall, but can't quite. And does escape with their life. I think they tried to satchel away, but because of that Andy J knife, was unable to. Luckily, Eagles Girl was on top of things with that smoke and was able to provide them with some cover to get away. But Dingle Fardis ready for the exec with a nice little flash lineup. But there are 4 players here, and the nade comes at the perfect timing to where nobody can really capitalize from the flash. But Kid from Akron says, fine, I'll do it myself, takes down 2, and now we're in a 3v2 situation. If Mustard Core can find some kills with this Marshall, oh, now Bulldog, it could end up getting huge. Finds one connection to Kid from Akron through the box, but can't find any more. Trying to find a pick on Alfred. Does find it, but Kid from Akron finds a pick their own. And now with this unbeatable cross, Kid from Akron goes huge for 4. And now bringing this once again to a 5-10 scoreline, something that we have seen before.
yeah, I mean, it's a great job there by OS, and
I got enough time to go into the
we love to see it. So on the road for a comeback.
Yeah, it only takes 1. So we'll see if they can start stringing some rounds together. This is a must-win round, because if they lose this, then they don't have weapons, and High Tide are at 11. And I don't know, it could get dangerous. I like the slow play though from both teams, really. Trying to play this cautiously, trying to find a pick. Both teams wary of their economy. Can Dingle Fardis find one? Oh, can't quite connect. In Aki is there to protect. Oh, Snowy dashes into the raise nade,
I got
and
the
it
spike.
seems like this is all but over. Damage done on both players in art, but neither are able to fall. And now it's all up to Alfred and
Last
Koala.
player standing.
And with Alfred going so loud, Drag is just ready for it, and it's all up to Koala, who only has a Guardian and regen shields to their name, is able to find an
30
upgrade
seconds left.
when shopping, bought a Vandal, but it was free. And
Gotta
now,
love a good BOGO deal.
yeah, what seems like an impossible task, especially walking into a Cypher setup and 13 seconds left. Surely it's all but lost, and it's definitely lost now.
Yeah, I mean,
Two more to go.
it's not looking great for OS here. They don't have the best econ. I don't necessarily know if I care for the
Yes.
hero
this
buy,
should do.
but
No, he has been
You know?
shooting this game. I will give him that. But
mhm.
surely you'd save that
This goes
rifle
here.
now that I'm thinking about it, right?
This is a nice spot. Yes.
Yeah, I
this
mean,
should
I
do.
think that would be the play here, but maybe they don't want to play for overtime. They want to play for the win. And they're going to do it on the backs of the two Vandals, or a Phantom Vandal that they have here, so.
And hopefully the Vandals go in first, and their team can try and capitalize off of it. Ooh, Slater has been spotted. Flashes down, but no knife coming out, so there's still full sniper util, and Slater is able to capitalize on it just a bit too late for the knife to connect. So Alfred is going to get spiked down. Man, if that resulted in a kill from Snowy, I don't know how I would have reacted. But look at this reposition. Oh, this is so good for Mustard Core because of the wall. Nobody was able to hear it, and that is a free angle. And now the tap happens, but nobody's going to stick it. They just want to send it, and Mustard Core gets 2. And this is definitely now looking all but over.
Yeah, I mean, not great econ there. Not sure why OS decided to buy there, what the decision-making process was there. And, you know, as a result, they kind of pay the price here, the ultimate price here. If they can pull off a, you know, a miracle against the guns of High Tide, that's great. But, yeah, you know, we're seeing a Vandal no shield, Bulldog no shield.
Against an op.
A
I mean, it
Stinger
could be
against an
it
op.
could be a the new sniper. What is it?
Outlaw?
The outlaw, and it'd still do the same amount of damage.
Exactly.
Cage
And I mean, Akron is trying to find the lurk timing in street, but I mean, there were 2 players there, and even then, look at all this noise. Oh, but
They're not clearing main.
oh, Alfred sniffs it out. I was gonna say Slater is in a main, but they were aware of the fact that they didn't clear it, and now are a man up.
Yeah, I mean,
The question is, can they play numbers like for once? With the sniper, Cam alt out. I mean, everybody has been spotted from this High Tide roster, but it's looking like so far it's just unwinnable. Oh my goodness, they almost line up, and Eagles Girl is almost able to find 2, but can't quite get the job done, and we live to see another day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can really ask for much of a better outcome there. I mean, Alfred gets that pick with the Stinger while watching main while Andy plants, and, you know, there's a gun free in main to go play post plant with, and taking 3 Vandals into the next round is pretty good stuff there. So, I would like to see, you know, kind of the same quick little tactic that they did there. I mean, it seems like High Tide was not very ready for it, and the change of pace worked.
Oh, what a pick from Akron, and it looks like that is what's going to end up happening. And Mustard Core, one of the raid bosses, have fallen. But an excellent cross from High Tide actually just gets completely dismantled because the player who goes down is the one who could be rezzed. And Snowy in such a nice position finds Eagles Girl with their knife out, and he says, here's another strike in the death column.
Yeah, I mean, I can't necessarily see how the econ's looking here due to the Valorant crash, but I think
Should I play
the
some
econ
stars in
of
this reality?
High Tide should probably kind of be maybe semi in the dumps here. So
It is.
OS is looking like they're in a good spot to make this thing within reach. It looks like the change of pace was really good. They just need to be careful about dying and giving up guns here to the High Tide members.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen High Tide win some crazy rounds. And great cam. Spots the mid aggression,
Wait a moment.
but they don't do anything about it. I mean, they've seen damn near the entire team. Surely we say go, hit sight, or run away. It's a 5v3 right now, and all they have is a gun advantage, but Alfred mows him down. And Drag is extremely weak. Aki might be able to find a pick, but is going shopping. Oh no, Alfred whiffs, and now Drag has found a gun of their own and some heals. Can Snowy escape with their life? Yeah, they can. So, once again, a 2vx scenario for High Tide, but this time there's the pressure of Spike being planted, and I just am not sure if they can take as methodical of an approach as they had been, especially with the state of the bomb now.
I almost think this is semi-savable just because of that right there. I mean, you don't have a lot of HP, don't have the greatest money, so taking a gun into a round wouldn't really hurt you there. But great round by OS. Almost a misplay there, trying to fight flank there. I think they just don't even worry about it. Run site plant and then just play post plant on site since they know that pretty much the entire team's chasing them. So. But,
yeah, I mean, they were able to hold it down,
win.
so yeah.
Yeah, in the end, a round win, and on to the next one here.
And economy isn't really a factor when the other team has 12 kills, so hey man, go get your stats and play to win, you know? Dingle farted can't quite connect, and such a great kill trip from Slater is constantly capitalizing on these, but Andy had bomb, and this is now completely falling apart. Is this where it all ends? 8-12, bomb down in the hands of High Tide.
A bad
with 3 players on bomb, Alfred gets 2, can't quite find the third, but bomb is now a little bit more in a manageable position. Oh, ships passing in the night. Snowy finds one, Koala finds another, just handing them ones, but Drag and Aki on the flank. Koala grabs the ult, but they need to find a pick. It's not impossible though. Can the trade come? No, it cannot. And Drag closes it out. High Tide finishing 13-8 on Pearl and finishing the set 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, a good series. And a really good showing by High Tide. I mean, I think any of the rounds that arguably they should have won, they won. Slater showed his ability to lurk, really create space and pressure across the map, and kind of produce a big false sense of space and pressure across the map. So excellent job there by Slater. I always appreciate a fellow Cinti. So great job there, but Drag just absolutely showed out, and showed why Drag is one of the better players in the tier, if not one of the top 3. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, one thing you can't help but think about though is, what if those rounds where 4v2, 3v2, 4v-X, you know what I mean? If they had gone OS's way, I mean, this easily could be a 1-1 scenario, or outcome, I should say, but it wasn't the case, unfortunately. And for now, we will have an interview coming up, but I have a meeting with my apprentice roster, and I do have to go. So I will pass the reins to Brimmy and Trico and Hermes for the interview, and I will catch you guys either next cast or next podcast.
We'll see you then.
I don't wanna risk it all again, but I don't wanna be on my own. It always goes much better in my head.
Hello, everybody. We are back after that great showing by High Tide. I'm joined by the always lovely Aki. Aki, how are you feeling today after the 2-0? Really impressive performances across the board from yourself, Drag, Slater, and then just great support work from all the other cast members on your squad. Mustard also played really well. I'm forgetting the last player on the roster, so my mistake there.
We got Eagles. That's my
Oh,
Pookie.
Eagles. I have to shout out Eagles. Eagles has improved a ton since the last time I've seen Eagles play, and made some really high impact plays for you guys. But overall, seems like a really just well balanced roster, and a roster with a bunch of good vibes. So how are you feeling after a 2-0 there? Were you expecting the 2-0 going into some of those really strong players like Kid from Akron, Andy, etc.?
Oh, we had a very strong start to the beginning of the season, but we did fall into a bit of a slump mid-season, so I didn't know what to expect going in tonight. I was just here for some good vibes. I got breaking carried map 1. Shout out to Drag Slater and Big Mus out there. Always good for the carry. Thank you, chat. But yeah, it was a really good time tonight. I always thought it was a blast playing with the boys, and yeah.
Yeah, no, very cool. Bringing back a really solid cast from last season that played in playoffs. Obviously, the late addition of Drag was a really solid pickup for you guys. Do you think that you'll take a lot of momentum from this game and kind of carry it into the next half of the season? Do you think that you guys made adjustments kind of from that slump period that you guys were in? What can we expect from High Tide coming up here?
All I'm saying is we realized we had a few mistakes, but no mas. We fixed them, and lo and behold, we'll be new, and y'all are not expecting what we're gonna cook in the second half of the season. I'm excited for the team. I'm always excited to play with the team, and I know the team's excited to play with me. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I hope they like me. Who knows? But yeah, we definitely ran into a few issues, but we've been practicing, we've been vibing, and I think we'll come back stronger than ever.
Oh, very cool. Was the fracture something that you guys had practiced, or what? We don't really see a ton of fracture this season in VDC, I feel like, and we weren't expecting to see it tonight, and lo and behold, that was the first map that you guys locked in overall. So was that an OS thing, or were you guys very open to playing Fracture?
So I believe OS picked that map because we picked Pearl. We love Pearl. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. We haven't. I think we scrimmed Fracture maybe once, but we ourselves are also not very. We're not very used to Fracture either. But we make it work. We're just a team that balls. We're a team that works well with each other. So any map we make it work. So you weren't too worried.
Very cool. And one follow-up question. Obviously, you kind of took a step back in time from Teo being allowed to Teo not being allowed. Did that have any impact on your team and team comp? Obviously, because you kind of flipped that switch to where Teo's now allowed, and then you go back a match day where Teo was not allowed in the game. Does that did that have any effect on the comps, or do you guys really play Teo? What's your thought process on that?
Oh, take us back 24 hours, okay? I did play Tehu in a map yesterday. I kinda did really badly, so I went personally for me. I was like, maybe I'm gonna just not do that no more. So I took a step back, and so honestly, I didn't really feel the change in Teho. I mean, we're working on him. We're seeing where he can fit in our comps, but nothing crazy. We all got our players we can play. I mean, me being the initiative player for my team, it'd probably impact me the most, but I'm chilling. Maybe I'll pull it out one day. Who knows? I don't know.
No, very cool. And Aki, thank you for joining us. Great series. Do you have anything to say to your fans out there before we head to the break here?
Okay, hold on. Let me put on my caster voice for this. Hello, Aki Nation. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to my team. Thank you to my franchise for signing me. I guess he signed me last season, but that's kind of not the point. Thank you. It was wonderful playing. I love my team. Peace.
Yeah. All right, VDC. That will wrap up tonight's stream. Thank you to the OBS crew, Trico, and then also thank you to our awesome observer, Glorp, for the great time, and then also thank you to the retired god. It was a great time on the desk tonight, and a great series. High Tide, Apprentice 2O's OS Apprentice, and that'll do it for tonight. Feel free to tune back in tomorrow, hopefully, for another great VDC match. I don't know what the match is for tomorrow slated, but it'll be great action nonetheless. So until next time, VDC, have a great night.
So I'm sorry for breaking down when you said you got me. I'm used to being let down, but I'm hoping if I'm falling too fast, then you'll catch me.